It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Welcome back, everybody, to Party Chat Sports. Sorry we were taking a little bit of a hiatus last week, but we are back to discuss, what are we, week 14 of the NFL season? We only have like 4 weeks left. Highly depressing, actually.
Some of us
You
only have
and
4
Drew.
weeks
Of the regular
left.
season.
Yeah,
Of
get
the
them,
regular
Kane.
season. Of the regular season.
Get them, Kane.
The rest of us have 5.
We only
There
have
you
got
go.
a couple more weeks left, but welcome back, everybody. I'm Caleb Gill. We've got the entire crew here: Drew Nelson, Dylan Schroeder, Cameron Braun, all on with us tonight to discuss that Week 14 slate
about
of
you?
games. I did say my name. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you said. My bad.
I know what I'm
my bad.
doing.
Go ahead.
I know
Not
I'm
the
doing.
E-swag, so.
And let's start off with that Thursday night matchup, which was kind of rare to see an exciting Thursday night game. Lions defeat the Packers 34-31. Of course, you had some intrigue there at the end.
Head hunting.
So,
Gate.
no, on that. You're just salty.
I don't know.
So
I
J.J.
don't know.
Watt actually tweeted about that and saying, like, as a safety, there's really only so many ways that you can take down a tight end. Like,
Well, get bigger is
The
one of them.
helmet on the kneecap, though, probably isn't number one.
no, but the going low,
Yeah.
like, you have
I mean,
to,
like,
for those sizes.
Sure,
hit the legs,
sure,
not
but
the knees.
the crown
Yeah, the
of
crown
the
of the helmet, probably
on the
not the
kneecap is
best
probably
way to go about it, but
Yeah,
The worst way, if you want to be specific.
you're just a hater anyways, so.
I'm
you
not
are.
just a hater. They're the best team in the NFC right now, but Kirby Joseph is
clip it.
on the hit list.
Is he on the hit list, or is he
I mean,
creating his own
you
hit
do
list?
hate. I think it's the
He's
second thing you
gonna.
said.
I'm telling you, some linemen are gonna start going out to the safeties just for
I don't
him.
think so.
Can I say something real quick?
Floor is yours.
I went. I'm 4 for 4 in all my fantasy leagues for making the playoffs this year, and I have 2 first-round buys. That's all I had to say. Just need to put it out
That's
there.
So in one of my fantasy leagues, everybody makes the playoffs. I went 3-8-1, and playoffs started last week. Actually, I won my first.
You had a tie.
Yep, at a tie.
No
I
way.
went 3-8-1.
Heck, man.
First round, I won 114-113, and then this week I won 153-126. So the 10 seed is upsetting
You're already
everybody
in
right now.
Oh, I guess
It's
you need extra playoff weeks if everyone makes
yeah,
it. But
it's a weird system.
not to get us too
It's a weird
sidetracked,
system, but you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Sam
one
Darnold.
of my players was Jamison Williams, so
I had Sam Darnold go for 43
Thanks,
points,
Lon.
Zach Charbonnet go for 41. They carried. Absolutely carried. But getting back to this Lions-Packers matchup, Dan Campbell had a decision there at the end where a lot of people question, should he have gone for it? Should he have just kicked the field? Or what should he have done there? Ultimately, it worked out. I don't fault the decision there at the end, the way the teams were playing. And you just, kind of like what I said when the Lions lost the NFC Championship game, you just kind of have to continue riding with what got you there. Overall, though, it was a good game. A good NFC North matchup.
Hunting knees.
Hmm?
Said hunting knees.
No.
You know,
You gotta
taking
get
people
over
out
it,
of the
man.
game.
Yeah,
you got to
he's-
get over it, man.
I mean,
We
what
talked about
happened
it
in a
too
playoff
long.
game? What happened in a playoff game?
I'm
And
not worried
even a
about
former
last
Lion
year.
said, "Hey, yeah."
I'm
you're
not
good
worried
as
about
fuck,
Oh,
bro.
language.
I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about the Lions. Yeah, definitely.
No,
language.
that's a quote. It's a quote.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not worried about last year. Not worried
You
about
don't
it.
have to worry about it until the Super Bowl, most likely, because you're in the AFC, the weakest conference in NFL football
Well,
right
there's
now.
only two.
That was definitely forced. Also, there's only
There's only
two,
two.
so it's also
Yeah,
the second strongest in NFL football. So
it's just
whatever.
kind of the way that
Um,
works. And that works.
Is that you saying the Lions are going to make
That's
the
what
Super
I
Bowl,
heard.
Kane?
They got to get past Sammy D.
But you just said they're probably going to make the Super Bowl.
They already got past him once.
I said if you wanted to meet them. No.
Oh, he's
no.
backtracking.
I probably didn't.
He's backtracking.
I mean, if Donaghy keeps going,
Yeah.
they're going to make the Super Bowl 100%. That's been proven
You
in
better
the
hang up
past.
that call, pal.
You got to let that one go, man.
Am I back?
Nope.
You got to let that one go.
2009 still stinks. 2009 still
Close
stinks.
the yearbook, man. Come on.
I ain't closing it. No, it still
I was
stinks.
talking about 2009.
Yeah, you're talking about 1988 with your Super Bowls that you like to.
Bro, when you talk about never.
No,
We're not going to get
none
into
of them
this.
happened in 1988.
We're not going to get into this. You're talking about never.
Go segue.
All right.
Go segue, please.
Lions, Packers,
The Lions are
anybody?
good. They beat a.
Lions are good.
Lions are good.
Stop crying
The
about
Lions
it.
are good. They beat the Packers.
It's hilarious that people are crying that the Lions have the refs on their side.
That
It's
is
the Lions,
right.
man.
Yeah,
That's how you know
the
it's
NFL's
just
babies
reaching.
right now.
Everybody crying when the refs are against them. And I'm guilty as charged, but that's just how it is.
Call more penalties as long as it's on the other team. That's what
That's
everyone
what I'm
wants.
gathering.
Penalty on the other team every play. No penalties on my
Everybody
team.
complains about the amount of penalties, but
Yeah.
they want more called against the teams that
I
they're.
mean, everyone
Easy
agrees the Chiefs get
Yeah,
favorable
in the biggest moments.
treatment, but we'll get to that later.
I mean, there's definitely teams that get favorable treatment, but that's what happens when you have humans running, or you have humans as officials. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no.
But you
perfect-
can't have a robo official, so it is what it is.
Nope. I think the one thing. Well,
Not yet.
sorry, Drew.
I just said not yet.
Someday, probably, maybe. I don't know. The one thing that really impresses me about this Lions team is the number of injuries that they've had on defense, and how, granted, they gave up 31 points, but they're still playing better than a lot of teams would. They've lost almost all three I think every starting linebacker. They're a couple edge guys. I'm impressed with the work that.
They didn't lose Jack Campbell and Brian Branch.
Didn't they lose Brian Branch?
Everyone
at
else
one
other
point?
than those two, pretty much.
No.
For like a second.
I hate to be that guy, but they're only the third best defense in the league, so, on a points per game perspective.
Yeah.
So
Third best
Okay.
defense with, let's see,
they're actually tied for second on a points per game basis at 18, which is pretty good.
let's see.
Yards per game, they're on the bottom half, so they're pretty decent. And they have the number one points per game scoring offense, so
Let's see.
That's what Ben Johnson will do to you.
Let's see. You've got Marcus Davenport hurt, starting defensive tackle, couple linebackers, Alex Anzalone,
Davenport, you take him out immediately.
Malcolm Rodriguez.
He has not played more than 3 games in 3 years.
You got a bunch of.
What are you talking about here,
Aiden
pal?
Hutchinson.
Are you-
Davenport is a fraud.
you just said to take them
all
out.
he
Are
wants
you
is
the
money.
headhunter? Is it you?
Take him out of the statistics.
I'm just saying,
That's
they're
what I'm
lost a lot of defensive
The
players.
statistic of being on
Ooh.
IR.
Thank you, my
They're
love.
pretty good, man. They're pretty good.
They're well coached.
No way you're going to be clanking your fork on the podcast eating salmon.
No, I'll go on mute. But
I actually turned the camera on for once.
That's
Yeah.
not bad. That's not bad.
it's a nice salmon.
Rationing the dang broccoli around here, though, is what I'm seeing.
I don't need a lot of broccoli. I'll,
Bro,
ta-
I
I'll
have
take.
3 broccoli. That's
What do you
it.
mean? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got at least 6.
You have at most 6. You have 6. Statistically, what?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
6.
Is there anything else that needs to be mentioned on the Lions Packers?
No, man.
Yeah, quit the body
Lions are
game.
good.
No, man. Lions are good.
Packers are also probably good.
Packers are all right. They're decent.
Another interconference matchup: the Browns and Steelers. Dylan, Hello? Yeah, what is going on?
This guy's breaking stuff. I'm getting notifications. Keeps breaking stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm back though. I'm
Reconnecting.
back.
Well, you're back. Russ seems to be back. He's cooking again. Steelers get the 27-14 win over the Browns.
Oh, what a segue. Yeah, no, I'm happy. The Browns is the Browns. Myles Garrett was shushing the crowd down by 2 possessions with 3 minutes left in the game. That always makes me happy. Is Russ cooking though, or is he just in the system? Is he a product of an Arthur Smith system QB? He might be.
Tough
That's a
schedule.
crazy
Very
statement.
tough schedule. Very tough schedule, but long-term trends will rise. The Cleveland Browns have not won a regular season game in Pittsburgh since 2003, and they play there every year. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not, but that's hilarious. On the flip side, Steelers have not won a game in Philadelphia since 1960s, and that's this upcoming week. So, just saying. Played a game though without George Pickens, and that was like a pretty big fear in the beginning of the year, like what that would look like, because we were talking about wide receiver rooms during the game, and we had guys like Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, and Ben Skoranek on the field at the same time. That was the wide receiver grouping, and I tell you what, not something I want to see a lot of. But George Pickens with the grade 2 hammy. Probably going to miss the Philly game, might even miss the Baltimore game. That's only like 5 days after that. Really tough stretch of schedule here, but sitting at 10-3, regardless of what happens, if we beat the Ravens, we win the division. That's the only thing that matters. Let alone the other 3 games we got to play. But if we beat the Ravens, we win the division. That's what I'm looking at here, and something that I think the Steelers are in the Ravens' heads. The Ravens just never play well against the Steelers, and it's been that way for about 4 years now. I think the Steelers have won the last 9 out of 10 with the Ravens, and that's all I'm really looking at. But yeah, defense played well. Offense played good enough. I'm a little worried long-term that we're going to spend a lot of money on Russ because he's like playing mediocrely enough. It's so tough because like the numbers are great, right? His NAY or adjusted net yards per attempt is like top 5 in the league. If you take his numbers and put it over a 17-game schedule, he would have thrown for 4,200 yards, like 30 touchdowns and 9 picks, all pretty good, and they're winning. So it's like you can't argue with that. But just like last week, of his 400 yards against the Bengals, his average depth of target was 3 yards, and 250 of the yards came after the catch. Seems a little misleading, but winning is the theme at the end of the day. So if they keep doing that, we're good. We're Gucci. That's all I got. Defense is great.
All right.
Is it?
Browns is the Browns. You suck.
If you lining TJ up on tight ends, yeah, it's going to be
That's
great.
bait. I'm not going to take it. You clearly didn't watch the game. But even if tight ends are lining up on TJ, Alex Highsmith and Herbig are getting sacks on the other side of the defense, and Cam Hayward is having his best season arguably ever. He's got 8 sacks on the year, bunch of tackles for loss. He's just being a beast. A lot of people said he was washed last year, and we gave him a 3-year, like $40 million extension, and we were like, what the heck are we doing? He's 35, and he's playing out of his mind. So, yeah, they could triple team TJ. Go for it, because other players are going to make plays, and that's what they've been doing all year. So, defense is good.
They don't need 2. One's good enough.
Huh?
So they don't need 2. One's good enough.
They can surely do that, and he'll get forced fumbles, and the Steelers will win. So, you can say it all you want, but it happens. We get forced fumbles, and we win. So,
I'm okay with it. I got him on my fantasy team.
yep.
It's just irritating. It's just irritating that, Steelers continue to win. I hate it here.
Win, 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 no matter what.
Like you're
What we
Speaking
do.
of irritating, Aaron Rodgers on the Jets That's gotta be
We're not
pretty
on that
irritating.
yet, but
Yeah, might as well.
I like where you were going with that.
Let's just roll right into that. The two
I
New
mean,
York teams lost.
you were upset, Gil, because Steelers win a lot. What do the Jets do a lot?
Lose. They find ways to lose. That's the crazy thing. Like this week,
Make Hall of Famers lose.
They
to be
didn't
honest.
find it the hardest this week. I'll give you that. That was somebody else last night.
That's a good point. The coaching decisions continue to baffle me, which I get. I mean, it's an interim head coach. But the Jets had no reason to lose this game when at the end, all you had to do was run out the clock and you complete a pass and allow yourself to get tackled out of bounds, which then gives Miami enough time to go down the field. When Miami kicked the tying field goal, I knew the game was lost. Same thing every week. They just find ways to lose, which right now is fine because I'd rather, I think I've said before, just let it all bottom out.
Thanks for Mike Williams, by the way.
Yeah, no
Forgot
problem.
to say that.
No. Devontae Adams has actually not been bad. I would not be upset if they kept Adams next year. I just don't know if Adams would come back without Rodgers. That's the question.
Exactly what you want out of your wide receiver one, to not be bad.
Like, he's been good. Him and Rodgers have been. I mean, there's been a few missed opportunities between the two of them, but him and Garrett Wilson, I think. Garrett Wilson, I think, is going to be really good if he's in New York, if he goes somewhere else, because there's already those rumors starting of him looking to possibly try getting out. Can't say I blame him. But just time to end the Rodgers experiment. I'd send him to the bench. Start getting some of the young guys in. Anybody that's hurt, like Breece Hall, shut him down for the year. No reason to re-aggravate something. It's just time
Fantasy Valley.
Yeah. It's just time to move on to 2025. I'm glad they got rid of the head coach and general manager when they did so they could start the search. See what happens. Ultimately, nothing's going to change with the Jets, so in my opinion, because of who the owner is, and you can't change that unless you can go back in time and get, Woody Johnson's dad to either pull out or put a, rubber on his Woody. Like, other than that, you are screwed. As long as...
Well, think of it this way, Gil. Think of it this way. You'll probably outlive him, and so there'll be a new owner at some point in your lifetime, which is pretty cool.
I think it will probably end up being his son. Which, who knows?
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be his son.
Brick.
There's a report today.
Brick Johnson.
His name's Brick?
Brick Johnson.
His name is Brick.
Bricked up Jets.
Yeah, it's over.
It's officially clinching, by the way, the long...
You are alive, Brick.
Another
Brick.
season without the playoffs with this loss. So now you just play for draft position, which we got the Jaguars this week. That'll be interesting. We seem to always play Jaguars for draft position.
Jaguars for a top pick, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jets Jags for a top pick in December.
14 years. That's a
longest
long
playoff drought in Major League sports. Also,
14 years, right?
We also haven't beaten the Dolphins in Miami, since 2014, which was Geno Smith's perfect.
You're cooked. Hold on. You know how Cam was talking about 2009 earlier, bro? The Jets have made the playoffs more recently. Come on.
Yeah.
Bro, I know you don't want to talk about 2009 for a couple of reasons, but it's okay. You don't need to bring it up.
No one wants to talk about 2009.
No, I mean, you lost 34-3. I wouldn't want to talk about it either.
Who cares? Jets made the playoffs more recently.
That's crazy. But yeah,
Man, the Vikings' coping mechanism is so funny.
But yeah,
Not the Vikings, mine.
The Jets haven't
Same thing, man.
won in Miami since Geno's perfect game.
You're basically the Browns. That's crazy.
We are. We are.
The Jets.
The Greens.
Yeah. The thing that does excite me, I guess, a little bit is that there's some good foundational pieces. Like the offensive line is good, I think. It's serviceable. Fashanu looks like a good pick. You have some young guys that look like they can be building blocks.
I completely forgot about Fautanu. Can't wait for him to come back.
So,
My bad.
Yep.
I keep jumping in. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. There's really not much else to say. The Jets suck. It was a game that was played. Jet season's been over for. Their last win was Halloween. It's December 10th. Like,
It's almost Christmas.
we're closer to Christmas
Man.
than we are the Jets' most recent win.
Put up. Hey, you could put up the Christmas decorations the next day though. After that win.
Yep.
I did.
100%.
No, not quite. Not quite the next
Clip
day
it.
after.
Clip it.
Not quite.
What's next? What's the next game?
I'm just going to
That's
rattle this
worth
score
talking
off.
about.
I'm just going to say the other
Okay.
New York team lost 14-11 to the Saints.
They suck.
Moving on, we did mention that the Jaguars.
Both
We mentioned the Jaguars. They won 10-6 in draft positioning, and the Vikings
Titans suck.
picked up a 40.
That's one of those wins that changes the trajectory of a franchise, either for
The
better
Jaguars
or for
Titans
worse.
one?
Yeah,
It's like you won
Yep.
for nothing.
good for the Titans there.
Also good for the Pick'ems because that allowed me to help get a little bit ahead in the Pick'ems. I had a three.
Brother, you're a
I
lot
had
of
a
it.
three-game
Dude, you got like a 5 game now or
Yep.
a 6 game.
I
It's
had a
crazy.
3-game lead heading into this week, and I started looking at the games. I'm like, oh no, this could be bad. That Jaguars game at the time was the only one that we had different. And
I
then-
took a chance this week.
You did.
I've already filled in my pick'ems. I took a chance this week.
Did not work out.
So
Oh, you meant last week. This coming.
It should be interesting, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting to break away a little bit. Let's see.
is that going to make you back to back if you win, or is that going to make you a 3-time back to back?
Did I win 2 years ago? I did. I was already back to back.
I thought Drew
You
won
have to
last
pull
year.
out the Google sheet.
I got the Google
No,
sheet. It's
'cause you
on its
can
way.
Thought about this. So, somebody said
So
triple
I
crown.
was almost a triple crown last year. Is what I was saying.
Gotcha.
You just didn't have the best
Correct.
second team last year.
Yep. Drew and I were.
That's a
That's all I
hard
have
thing
right
hard thing to do.
And Drew, ironically, has the worst.
Yeah, I was crying for nothing.
I think. I can't remember.
Oh, we're all
Dylan.
hating on my Bengals pick, and they suck.
Yeah. But yeah, Drew and I. It came
To
down
be
to
fair,
Drew and I for the
I'd
pick
still argue about that.
I think it was
Yeah.
a Super Bowl or like the championship weekend or something like that for the Pick'ems, I believe, because we were tied.
Gil, you have won. Gil, you've won 2 years in a row. So,
So I am looking to three-peat, is what you're saying.
and in year 1 you came in
Crazy.
third, and I won. So, Drew has come in second.
You turned it around.
Drew's
since then.
come in second 3 years in a row. So,
Nice. Looking to make it 4,
Yeah,
baby.
some people struggle to finish
4 P.
the pick'ems.
yeah.
That's just you.
You're the only one that's not finishing, brother.
No, me and Cade.
You're the
Cade.
only one here that's
Cade.
not finishing.
You're the only one that's on the podcast
Cade,
weekly.
Cade
Hey,
has
I missed
100 more
one
all-time.
week
Nah,
this
Cade
year.
has 100 more all-time victories than you do. So,
With the sleeper pick'ems?
Cade actually finished second in year 1. He tied Drew. So,
So I finished
That's
fourth
crazy.
then.
I guess technically you did. I'll strip you of this third place finish. Thanks for pointing that out.
If you had 2 second place, I'd be fourth.
Yep.
Speaking of second place, that's the highest the Vikings are going to finish in their division. 42-21 win over the Falcons, though.
It's all right. We're gonna be in the playoffs.
There you go. Shooting for mediocrity.
Take
Good.
the floor, man. I opened it. The door's open.
Who are you going to get to play, though? Who's going to be the 2 seed?
That's not a great
Eagles?
opening. No,
You going to the
I
Eagles?
kind of want to stay quiet now.
No, the 5 seed is going to play at the 4 seed,
Yeah.
Oh,
which
yeah.
would be at the
gonna be like that.
Buccaneers, which would be an easy dub. That would be hilarious if the Vikings lost. It'd be like Daniel Jones all over again.
Would it be an easy dub?
I don't think it'd be an easy dub.
It should be. You're 11-2. They're 7-6. It should be an easy dub. But and it might not even be the Buccaneers. It might not. It might be the Falcons still.
It's the Panthers. Out of nowhere.
No, I
don't
think
think it's possible.
It's wraps. They have
The
less
Panthers are not eliminated. No. The Panthers are not eliminated.
than less than 1% chance.
They just need the Bucks and the Falcons to lose out.
Yep.
I think the only
Take the
NFC
floor, Cam. Talk about your Vikings. Talk your talk. You said you were going to say
Nope.
3 things.
I'm gonna take the Vikings route and let people keep sleeping and
Talk.
go
Talk your
Vikings.
talk.
We're just gonna keep trucking along.
Eternal
with
sleep.
AMD.
Talk
all
your
I
talk,
got.
man.
recap the game.
What's your opinion?
Oh, I'm good. You can go ahead and recap the game.
I didn't watch it.
You
I'm not gonna
you
talk
do
about
have
it.
to participate in the pod if you're going to
No,
be
I
on
watched
it,
the whole
bro.
game.
I didn't watch
watched
it.
the whole
I didn't
game,
watch it.
but
It was hardly ever on
Neither
Red
did
Zone.
I. You're the only one that can recap it.
yeah, Addison, Jefferson, Cook. That's all that's got to be
What
said.
about Kirko?
Kirk was I did want to beat him, but it was sad seeing him after the game. Noticing how much the Vikings franchise and organization loves him, and how hurt he seemed after the
Yeah, he threw
game.
4 picks.
It kind of stinks. But yep, that's all I got.
All right. Well, I'm going to interject here. I think it's time we see Michael Penix. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've gone down the Kirk Cousins route. It's clearly not working, and you still have a chance to win the division. I think you've given it enough time to let the rookie quarterback sit behind Kirk Cousins. And
Kirk hasn't thrown a touchdown since they played the Cowboys.
what's up with all these teams failing after the Cowboys, man? Like the Cowboys suck, but everybody
They played the Super Bowl.
like the Saints, they have not been. Remember when the Saints were putting up 40, and then they played the Cowboys and they haven't since? Like,
Well, that was like week 2, man.
yeah, it was 2 or 3. Yeah,
But
it's still early in the year.
They thought the Saints were legit, and then they died. They won their Super Bowl week 2.
I
Falcons
never
won their
thought
Super
they were
Bowl.
legit, but I mean, they definitely were shocking.
But I think you got to start Penix.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. You owe a lot of money to Kirk, which is, again, they put themselves in a really weird spot.
Like they protected themselves
But
by drafting Penix because Kirk was coming off of an Achilles injury. So drafting Penix does look like a good move, especially what we've seen now with Kirk. But still, it's a tough spot with Kirk's contract because isn't it like a 3 or 4 year deal?
it is a 4-year deal, and he has a $25 million cap hit this year. Next year, that balloons to 40, which is 15% of the team's cap room. If you cut him after that, there would only be $35 million of dead cap spread over the 2 years. If you kept him for age 38 and 39 season, it would be $57.5 million of cap hit every year, which there's no way that they make it to that point.
No.
I would foresee.
And not to go back
They'll get out of it with that dead cap.
and not to go back to
$35
Aaron Rodgers, but like that's kind of like his deal with the cap. That's why I kind of wanted to get rid of him now because it saves more money. You either pay him in 2025 and you have the dead cap in 2026, or you keep him in 2025 and that dead cap hit extends to like 2027. Like the way some of these quarterback contracts are structured, yeah, you're going to take a hit that year that you let him go. But it's probably going to be
Unless you're
better
the Browns.
long term.
Giants.
Yeah, the Browns are screwed.
Unless you're the Browns.
Watson's getting massages on the beach while allegedly.
They don't even have a potential out year in the contract.
That ends 27, 28.
He's gonna be $73 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons. That's 27% of their cap.
The only out the Browns have is if he ends up on the Diddy list or something.
They guaranteed it. They guaranteed
Yeah,
it.
but you can-
He'd literally have to become a criminal. Oh wait, he already is.
Oh, wait. Allegedly.
Anyway, that's enough talk about the Browns, to be honest.
Yeah, that's enough talk about quarterbacks and cap room and all that fun stuff. Vikings, solid win. Thank you, Sam Darnold, for, again, leading me to a fantasy victory. I think I had him in 2 leagues, actually. So, thank you, Sam, for that.
Ironic.
Hey, I can talk shit. I'm still going to get – if I can
No.
win –
If you're not gonna defend him, then it is what it is.
No, I will defend him in the fact that you guys have said, we're waiting on the
We are.
The week 7, week 8, week 9, now week 10, now week 11. He's defying the odds. MVP.
He's not the
Not the
MVP.
MVP, bro.
First in almost every quarterback.
He's literally not the most valuable player of
You
his team.
take him off that team, we are a 4-win team.
No, you could literally
What
put...
is the definition
If we take
of
Josh
the
Allen
MVP?
out,
What is the
He's a
definition
system quarterback
of
for
an MVP?
Kevin O'Connell. That system that was keeping Kirk...
Nick Mullins is not doing what he's doing.
It kept Kirk Cousins alive for how many years, and now he sucks the minute he leaves.
I mean that's definitely an age and an Achilles factor, but we're not
You
going
take
to.
Sam Darnold off that Vikings team, they
good or
probably
bad on the Vikings?
have 9
You know, you can put
still.
9.
They would
wins
have
is
the
a
same.
crazy,
They would have the same record with JJ
overstatement.
McCarthy. They'd actually be better.
They would not. They would not.
Yeah, they would.
The whole team would tell you that JJ is not ready.
Yeah, and they still have like 8 or 9 wins.
Because he had knee surgery.
Not
He out there in a
wins.
wheelchair.
Nobody put them at 9 wins. They put them at 4-7.
I don't think so. I think you're making that up.
I'm 100%. I'm
Turn
100% sure they
shortly.
put them at 4-7
does-
wins. Third in the
It was
division.
USA
Who is they?
Today, NFL season predictions. So USA Today, they always do the predictions. We're going to get to the bottom of this because I'm tired of hearing how.
What do you? So what stats is he leading the league in? What?
ESPN had a max of, I think it was 8, but it was like 7.7. Every TikToker put them from 4
We
to.
ain't quote TikTok,
every-
Big Chief.
We are on TikTok, and we are one of those podcasts that have been on
Okay,
TikTok.
so
Yeah.
USA Today.
Or do we know
You
our
were
stuff?
not gonna-
Do we know? Do we really know what we're talking about?
Dude, they gave a
4 to
girl
7
that said hot
is what I'm
two
saying.
podcast. Okay, anybody can get one of these.
4-7 wins was the median.
Hold on, I want to go back to what categories is he leading the NFL in that you speak of?
Touchdowns, yards, and
No,
something else.
he's 6th in yards. He's only 3rd in touchdowns, and his QBR is
Might have been one of those.
his
PFF
QBR
stats.
is 15th. So
PFF is going to find you a stat for everybody that says that they lead in one specific category.
They're 4 wins if they don't.
he's also not in the top 3
MVP.
of PFF rankings. So just putting these statisticals out here.
Statisticals.
Statistical.
Josh Allen's MVP.
Yes.
It should be Saquon. If we're being realistic. I mean, if you break the rushing record, you should win the MVP.
We said that before.
Josh Allen.
I think I always hate giving it to a quarterback. And let's get into that Eagles game now. I hate giving it to a quarterback every single year. But the Eagles were 10-1 at one point last year without Saquon.
Josh Allen's only averaging 230 yards a game, and he's 6th in touchdown.
Yeah, but Josh Allen is still a guy that if you take him off the Buffalo Bills, they probably only have 4 wins. Like in terms of
Yeah. I mean that's going to be a pretty good argument for the best player on the team most of the time.
He had what 5-6 touchdowns against the Bills.
There is literally a statistic that if you take T.J. Watt off the field for the Steelers, they're like 1-15. So if we want to go there,
We don't.
Josh Allen's MVP, man. I don't know why you got.
I'm just. If you look at statistics, I mean, he's not leading in anything QB wise.
That's why you just watch.
And he just lost
game.
to the Rams.
Still 10-3.
He balled out though.
They
Scored 6
probably-
touchdowns.
They balled out. He was like the second all-time fantasy performance in our league ever, which was great for me.
It's the #1 fantasy quarterback performance of all time.
Yes, it was. He is leading the league in QBR though. So there's that.
But with Saquon, I do agree that like if he breaks the rushing yard record, which he's on pace to, he could break it before week 18. So like it's still
Yeah, if he breaks it in like the same number of games,
he will get recognized. Like he'll win offense play. He's probably still going to win offensive player of the year. MVP, he should get some votes, but I do ultimately think it's going to be Josh Allen that wins it. That's the race
popularity
right now.
contest. It's a quarterback award. It's a quarterback award.
Who else? I mean, besides Josh Allen and Saquon, you're not giving it to Mahomes. You're not giving it to Lamar.
If
Who
we're being
else?
realistic, it should be Joe Burrow, if we're being real.
That's
But
up there. But
I guess you also have to win to be an MVP.
Jared Goff.
see, I wouldn't put Jared Goff because he's kind of like he's been good, but I think a lot of quarterbacks would succeed.
He's on there, though.
I'd argue the most valuable person is the offensive coordinator. I changed the P.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking at
but
odds
Joe
right
Burrow,
now.
Joe Burrow's leading the league in yards by a healthy margin. He's leading the league in touchdowns with 33 to only 6 interceptions. Number 1 in QB rating, or number 1 in rating, number 2 in QBR. Joe Burrow is playing phenomenal, and the Bengals are so bad that they are wasting it, and I love it. But
It's the Saints.
he deserves it. He's been playing out of his mind.
It's Drew Brees and the Saints all over again. Like, I remember for fantasy, when I would pick like a wide receiver or a quarterback, I just go into the waiver wire to pick up quarterbacks, and I would just look to see if the quarterback that's facing the Saints is available. If that quarterback was available, I picked him up every week because it was almost guaranteed that they were going to have like that top fantasy week. The Saints defense was that bad. It was probably like 13,
Speaking
14,
of,
15.
I just thought about it because we looked at it early in the year. Caleb Williams is not on pace to be a 4,000-yard passer. The only thing we got to say about the Bears, but since I'm looking at all these stats on my screen, I just thought I'd take a look.
Lamar's currently the
That's
third
funny.
highest odds for MVP right now. It goes Josh Allen, Barkley, Lamar, Jared Goff, then Patrick Mahomes. Sam Darnold is 6. Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts both tied.
Hurts.
Yeah, we don't need to read the rest of the names.
What's he doing on
Hold on.
We
the
don't need
list?
to
So-
read the rest of the names, man.
Then it's Baker, and then it's Joe Burrow. Like, Joe Burrow's odds are plus 20,000. Him and Baker are actually tied. And Jaden
Dude, that's
Daniels.
so stupid, man.
Baker,
that's
Joe
so
Burrow, and
dumb.
Jaden Daniels are all tied for plus
The
20,000.
Steelers broke
on FanDuel.
Lamar though, for real. Lamar hasn't done jack since the Steelers game.
No. Not at all.
Steelers gave the NFL the film room on what to do against Lamar.
Hurts can barely even be a running back anymore. He's just
Dude, the Eagles are like
push
imploding.
merchant. That's the only thing
If
he
there was
does.
ever a year the Steelers were going to win in Philly, it'd be right now.
Well, that's what happened.
After AJ Brown's like, yeah, we can't pass the ball,
So the Jets.
and then Graham was like, yeah, they can or something. I don't know what he said, but
So the Jets
I saw
had
he had to
never
apologize.
beaten the Eagles.
It's
They were
been-
like 0
been
13.
true for a while.
They were 0 13 all time against the Eagles until last year when the Eagles were like under. I think they were like 4 or 5 and 0. The Jets had both. I think their top 3 starting corners were gone. Won the game, and then after that, the Eagles just imploded. Like the Steelers have that chance to do that to the Eagles, who are already starting to do that themselves. Brandon Graham talking on WIP, the local radio sports station in Philly, about like 1 and 11 having a personal issue with one another. It's getting ugly in Philly, and yet they're still going to
that's
win the
what you
division.
want to see. Nick Sirianni for you. Can't handle his locker room.
No, but I will say,
It's probably feeding into it.
Yeah,
how many straight games have they won now?
a lot.
They are on a winning streak right now.
They're on the best winning streak in the NFL at the moment.
Let's see. I don't think they've lost since September 29th, if I'm looking correctly. Yeah. The Eagles' last loss was 33-16 to the Buccaneers. Since then, it's 5, 6, 7, 8.
And they
9.
finish with
So the Buccaneers beat the Eagles and then the Lions back-to-back weeks to start the
That's
season.
crazy.
I believe.
That's crazy. And then they probably lost Mike Evans or around that time maybe.
That's the last 2 times, or the last time that both of those teams have lost to the Bucks.
Bucks, man. Round one upset.
You do not want the Bucks in the playoff.
Playoff wild card round Baker is, I can speak from experience, a wild man. You'd be slinging it. Eagles finish, though, with Steelers, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. And they're one game behind the number 1 seed, Lions.
Well, they're probably winning all of those, so.
Probably. So, do the Lions win out?
I feel like the Lions have a decent schedule.
Lions have Bills, Bears, 49ers, and Vikings. It's a very real possibility that the Eagles get the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's gross.
That Bills game should be good this week.
Go Lions, baby. I need it. I need it in my veins.
Also, one last thing.
Not that the Steelers are getting the 1 seed. That's a pipe dream, but I just gotta feed into it.
One last thing on this Eagles.
Go Browns
game.
this week.
The Panthers. Once they start getting some weapons for Bryce Young, this could be an interesting team next year.
Dude, the Panthers are low key last year's Texans without the playoff run.
Yeah,
low key.
They're just not
They're basically the Texans if the Texans just didn't win any games and were bad.
That's okay. That's a
kind of,
take.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what people thought the Texans were going to do, and then they didn't. But then that's where they're at this year.
Panthers haven't been favored in a game in 2 years until this week.
Good for them, man. Good for them.
Who are they playing this week?
Did you know that when you asked that question?
Yeah, I knew that.
That felt forced, but it was still funny. I had a busy day. I didn't see it.
All right. We talked about the Buccaneers. They got picked up a win against the Raiders, 28-13. I don't remember much from this game. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Brocked up.
Raiders are going to break my heart because they're going to.
The
Raiders are going to break my heart because they're going to give Justin Fields $30 million a year to be their starting quarterback.
Nah, they're drafting Shador.
He's a giant, man, but we'll talk about that.
Who's a giant?
Someday.
Raiders pick higher.
Shador.
I think it's Rodgers.
No, Shador's
Oh, wait,
a Raider.
no, I can't do that anymore because Belichick's going to be in North Carolina.
Shador, the Raiders have the number 1 pick due to strength of schedule. They have tiebreaker over the Giants in that regard.
Yeah, but if Shador doesn't want to play in New York, he's just going to pull an Eli.
I ain't talking about New York. I'm talking about Vegas. He wants to
That's
be in
what I'm saying.
Vegas.
Like, they want to be in Vegas, but if the Giants had that first pick, then he's going to be in Vegas.
The Raiders will have a game against the Jaguars at home coming up.
Jaguars have a couple.
They'll lose the others, and they're going to be at the Saints, who are going to have who at quarterback? Jake Haener.
They just signed Ben DiNucci.
They just signed Ben DiNucci, so there could be some. Or do they stick with O'Connell? I mean, he almost beat the Chiefs, but
no way.
I feel like O'Connell's not been given a chance, but also you kind of know he's not good, but he might be.
He's had 2 years now.
Yeah, but they haven't played him enough. I don't know, man.
He lost.
I'm just manifesting.
He played
I'm
a
just
lot.
manifesting my Justin Fields.
Had,
okay, just relax.
Watch Fields be a Jet next year.
That'd be a full circle moment.
Can I interest you in Trey Lance?
No.
Can I interest you in Trey Lance, bro?
Right.
Put him in the game.
Not interested.
I didn't want him in 2021. I don't want him
interested.
All right. We'll talk about all that stuff in the offseason.
Yeah, we got a lot of offseason stuff to talk about at some point. Seahawks Cardinals are still playing for the playoffs, trying to win that division, and the Seahawks got a 30-18 win. Kyler did not look good.
What's the word in Phoenix on public enemy number 1?
He was MVP 2 weeks ago. What's he today?
He was. Now he sucks. Well, he probably sucked before then. But, yeah, it's not good. Kyler's not good.
What's that contract?
Marv is unfortunately not good.
That might be a little early, but
he's not good. I'm sorry, Cam. He's not good.
Terrible.
That might be a little early.
He has not been good. He has not been good.
He's a rookie. Let's just.
You got a defensive head coach.
That's fine. He has not been good.
He'd be 1,500 yards on the
Has
ground.
not been.
What are they going
I
to do
don't
with
think he
Kyler
would.
though? What are they going to do? This is the first year of his big extension. I mean, he's got a cap hit of around $50 million for the next 4 years, including this one. There's no out of that contract until 2028.
They'll find a way. He'll be quarterback next year, and he'll do something.
Will he?
That'll probably be it.
He's only 27.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they have many other options.
They're not going to have a good enough draft pick. There's not a good enough prospect that you would damage yourself so badly by just getting rid of Kyler.
That's the other thing too.
It's not like the saviors in the draft that they can
There
go
is no
get.
savior in this draft
Carson
in general.
Beck.
Carson Beck's a bum.
Carson Beck's about to need Tommy John, bro. Did you see that?
Why? Because of all of his snaps.
No.
No, because of the UCL that he injured at halftime.
I'm sure that his.
How do you do that?
I'm sure his.
He got smoked.
I'm sure his Snapchatting
It was weakened
I'm sure he's
from
Snapchatting.
before.
activities don't help with that at all. Nah, it's what you're doing with the other arm. You got one hand. Let's not do the motion, but you know what I mean.
Clip that.
But Carson Beck's a bum.
Anyway,
Been trying
Yeah.
to say this. Like they're
Anyways,
fine.
the Cardinals
yeah,
suck.
off-season stuff.
The Cardinals.
At least they wore their coolest
they sucked to begin
uniforms.
with. It was actually surprising they were doing so well. So the teams figured out if you just don't let James Conner or Trey McBride do anything, then they can't do anything.
Connor shot at 90 yards. McBride has 70. McBride just doesn't get it. Neither of them got into the end zone. Granted, McBride doesn't catch any touchdown passes.
Exactly. He's been hurt.
Could
He's been hurt for a while.
McBride be a
Kyler loves to throw terrible picks because he can't see anything.
Bro, he's throwing it right at him. Right at him every time.
He said, like, they asked him, they're like, hey, I forget which one it was. I'm not going to lie and say I watched every snap of this game, but there was one pick that was worse than the others. And they were like, did you see him? And he was like, yeah, I saw him. I thought I could get it in there. It's like, dude, there's no way.
He was literally, it was right at his chest. There was no getting it in there, man.
you got it in there, just not to the right guy.
Yeah, to the defense.
I wonder.
Yeah, no, the Cardinals are bad, and unfortunately, there's not anything they can do, really. Like, he's not their guy. He's not going to be the guy. He's not the current organization regime's guy. He's not the head coach or the GM's guy. So,
Yeah.
like, as soon as they can get
That kind
out,
of
they
stuff.
will.
But they may not have time to get out. Like, by the time they can get out of his deal, they might can those two. Like,
And the further problem is that you can't really tell if it's Kyler who's really bad or maybe the offense is bad. Maybe it's the
So
OC. Maybe Marvin Harrison is generational and the offense is holding him back.
Probably.
Kyler's holding him back, but there's no way to tell.
I mean, when you
And there's not going to
Marvin
be a
off
way to
with
tell.
McCord.
in college,
It's the offense.
Dude,
It's
we're
running
not-
back.
that's
They need to
college,
bring back
man.
college,
King.
it's two
Stop.
different things. It's not.
It's the
It's
same
not.
aspect. It's not.
How many
it's-
college receivers are great at college, but then end up being busts at the NFL?
Decent amount.
It is interesting. It is interesting
Whatever.
when you have a tight end that's probably going to be a Pro Bowl tight end and still has no receiving touchdowns. Like, when's the last time a Pro Bowl tight end has not caught a touchdown?
I don't know. Just
It probably like the 60s,
Pro,
70s.
Pro Bowl had what's his face in it, so Tyler Huntley.
That's true. I'm just saying, like, the dude's putting up numbers and still can't get a touchdown pass. Kyler can't find him.
Can't find the biggest target in the end zone.
And the Bears couldn't find any sort of offense, defense, anything against the 49ers in their 38-13 loss.
Da Bears.
Caleb Williams didn't look great. 49ers.
Back to that Marv thing. The only going up against future insurance salesmen is not the same as playing in the NFL every day, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say about that.
That's fair.
All right.
Yeah. 49ers Bears 38-13.
It was a game that was played.
A game and excite.
49ers looked good.
They look good,
They
but
look
it's the
good.
Bears. Like
Bears
Better
are
than they
bad.
did.
Bears are bad. My second team not looking
Bears are
so nicey right now.
nicey.
Are the Bengals better? The Bengals have a better record than
They
the
do.
Bears? That's
They
right.
do. That's why we got to change the rules, man.
No, dude.
Because my go-to team's 5-8. We got to rewrite the.
What are even
rulebook.
the other teams?
So Cam has the Chargers. I have the Falcons. So Cam's
that was another one
running
that was,
away with this. Cam's running
Yeah,
away.
I couldn't even. Yeah, because me and Gil were forced to choose from the crappy lineup of NFC teams that were just terrible.
I thought the Falcons would be okay. Like I really thought like
You could have picked the
Could've.
Commanders.
Yeah, well, I'm not that smart, okay?
Clip it.
I'm gonna remember you said
All right.
that. Who else would like? There's really nobody else I would have thought to pick.
Anyway,
Just like this game,
49ers are good, Bears are bad.
the team I picked last year for this.
Rams. You could have picked the Rams.
That's no, because I picked the Rams last year. I don't think we could do teams that that were already taken like the year before. Whatever the rules were. Anyways, the team I took last year for the second team was the Rams, and they played in probably the best game of the week. 44-42 win in LA against the Buffalo Bills. We kind of talked about this game a little bit with Josh Allen and the amount of points he put up, and still coming away with a loss. He's getting held back by you know what? Kind of like how you feel about Joe Burrow right now is where I'm at with Josh Allen, where I'm fine with the Bills organization holding him back, except it's just not quite to that Joe Burrow extent. Even though Burrow did get to a Super Bowl, so like I guess it evens out somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, just this year, but I mean, the Bills are obviously they're a team that I don't want to see in the playoffs at all. Even though they lost this game, they were very much in it, and I mean, the Rams have a very good offense, and there's a lot of teams in the NFL with very good offenses, and because Sean McVay was super cool, and that was like the thing. And a lot of those teams have bad defenses and are not great overall football teams. Rams are one of them, but they were, and Bills too, I guess. But, yeah, Bills are just like a better version of the Bengals all around. They don't have nearly the weapons on offense. All their weaponry is just Josh Allen's arm and legs.
And hands, I guess, because he did catch that touchdown 2 weeks ago. Technically.
I guess, yeah. So, yeah, it's just interesting. Rams just played a great game. I think it is really all it boils down to. You can fault the Bills for their loss in this one, not having a defense, but I think the Rams just won the game more than the Bills lost it, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
Like if the Rams were the Chiefs in this one, you'd be like, "Oh, what a heavyweight matchup," and Mahomes just beat Josh Allen, but since it wasn't the Chiefs, the Bills are like being looked at as being bad. So
I think some of it is where they played too. Like it's difficult for teams to come off the plane. You're going from Eastern New York or Western New York and flying across the country, the other side of the country to California. Like that's a 4-hour time change or adjustment. The flight, I'm pretty sure the statistics on like teams traveling across the country to play don't usually fare well in general. Like if this game was played in Buffalo, the Bills probably end up winning this game. So I think the location where it was played does have a factor in this. And it was two very powerful offenses right now. Like if they played this game,
I don't think you want to get in a slugfest with the Rams.
no,
yeah,
They've got an offense that can put up points.
like that.
I heard someone make a case for Puka being the best receiver in the league.
I can see
yeah,
it.
I'm fine with that.
I'd be open to
Cam
listening
would probably
to it.
disagree, but
I'd listen to it.
I also heard the same case for Jamar Chase.
I may
Jamar's
not.
pretty good.
I
He
may not
also gets
agree with
force
it.
fed. Jamar
Yeah.
gets force fed, to be fair.
He does. All right, got 2 more games to go. Chiefs, Chargers. Chiefs and their voodoo magic get a 19-70 win over the Chargers.
I just don't get it.
What do you mean you don't
Taylor
get it?
Swift did something, man. They haven't lost.
No, you get it plenty.
They should not be 12-1, man. They
No.
should not. It bothers me.
Like, they have a good defense, but
Doesn't really matter though.
they just find ways to win.
I mean, no, this Chiefs team is giving me vibes of they're going to lose in the playoffs because they're not. And it was the same Chiefs team of last postseason. I mean,
That's
it's
the
been this
thing.
way
Like,
for
we said
4
this
years.
last year.
It's been this way for
supposed-
4 years. Eventually they're going to lose and they're not going to win. All right.
I'm not taking any opinions about the Chiefs until they actually lose.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb to like they were a super team, I guess, with Mahomes and Tyreek and Kelsey in their primes.
on.
And then they lost all of that and had doo-doo shit poopster as wide receiver 1 and still won the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
with Kadarius
I mean,
Toney,
So
the
Kadarius
Chiefs-
Toney and Sky
The
Moore.
Chiefs, listen to me. Listen
Yeah,
to me.
dude.
The Chiefs have turned into an elite version of what the Steelers have been trying to do for 10 years, which is have an amazing defense and then an offense that can get it done. Obviously, you have Mahomes, so the offense is going to be able to get it done, but their defense is amazing.
They're the Patriots.
Their defense is awesome.
They're the Patriots during that dynasty. They had a
Yeah,
Hall of
they
Fame
might
quarterback
with the worst
with a
offense.
good Hall of Fame tight end, a few decent wide receivers here and there, but they weren't really skilled. Like, they had Randy Moss for a year or two. And then
That was their Tyreek.
their Tyreek.
No Super Bowl then, though.
Oh, yeah, no Super Bowl with Randy.
So no Super Bowl then.
But they always had good defenses.
Oh.
Like, you could always rely on the Patriots having good defense. Matt Patricia doesn't get the head coaching job without the Patriots defense being good. Like, they're the Patriots. Their voodoo magic is just
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It feels more
It's the
annoying
same.
the ways that they're winning these games.
I'm just annoyed. Yeah, I'm annoyed because the whole finding a way to win thing is really just the other teams are messing up recently.
I feel
I don't know, man.
it is old.
makes me mad.
It's getting old.
I mean, people say it was lucky. It was lucky that he bounced the kick in. It would be unlucky for him to miss.
Yeah.
But I mean,
'Cause it wasn't like it was a far
if
field
you're
goal.
going to hit the upright, the odds are that most of the time you miss. So he got a lucky bounce, if we want to frame it that way.
Maybe.
But
Yeah, but teams get
I
lucky
mean,
bounces all the time.
they got lucky.
From
They got
that
lucky
angle,
that the
from
Raiders.
that angle, I feel like it's probably pretty common if you would hit
They-
because he kicked from right to left and hit the left upright. I feel like the trajectory of the ball at that post, kind of bounced.
It's like it was more of a
Yeah.
backboard instead of a size. What you're saying?
Yeah, just tap it in.
Tap it in.
Just roll
I
it
mean,
in.
I don't know, man. They should have lost to the Raiders on that. Raiders fumbled the snap. They honestly should have lost to the Panthers. Panthers played their heart out and just couldn't get it done.
Probably should have lost to the Broncos.
Should have lost to the Broncos if the snap hold doesn't, take 5 years and they block the kick. I mean, obviously part of that's on them for execution of a blocked kick, but most of the time a blocked kick is due to a lack of execution on the kicking team, not a elite something on the defense. So I don't know, man.
I mean, we could do this all day with the Chiefs. Ultimately, they just find ways to win. It's annoying. It sucks.
Also,
We'll see.
there was a lot of missed calls on that final drive. There's like 3 false starts that weren't called. Offensive tackles getting a jump.
Yeah. It,
It's been the case for many a year.
we
I'm done. I'm done with it. They're not changing it.
They only call it when they want to. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
It should be hard enforced one way or the other. Either don't call it or call it, but to call it sometimes is where I get annoyed.
Yep. Free J Herbo, come to New York.
Free J Herbo, poor guy.
Bro needs to learn to not get injured.
Yeah, that was just bro had a Charlie horse and was laying on the ground for like 5
He's a little
minutes.
soft.
I mean,
he's a little soft.
wasn't he like a Hawaii dude? He's not obviously Hawaiian, but I mean he went to Oregon. Where did he grow up?
Oregon.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of that
All right.
Pacific.
I don't know where you got Hawaii from, but
I don't know.
it's on the Pacific
Yeah,
Ocean. They're really close to each other.
I don't know. Some people may say the Pacific Northwest is soft. I don't know.
People would say that.
All right, final game of the week. Last night, Monday Night Football. If you enjoyed watching the Simpsons version, can't necessarily say I blame you. Some of those clips are funny, like seeing Homer score a touchdown.
I would never actually sit down to watch a football game animated in the Simpson world. Hey Cam, how was your salmon?
It's pretty good.
How was your six broccolini?
It's also pretty good. I had some garlic soda.
There you go. Cam, would you ever willingly watch a Simpsons football game when the normal football game is also available?
No, not after I watched the Disney one last year.
What was it?
Was it like
Toy Story.
My problem was
Toy
that
Story. Yeah.
It was Toy
It was
Story.
still
Toy
Disney.
Story, yeah.
Well, that counts. Yeah. The problem was it wasn't just on TV. It was one of those
ESPN
Disney
Plus.
So yeah, Disney
ESPN
Plus. It
kind
was
of
like
deals.
a week ago that you go on Disney Plus, and you can get ESPN now on Disney Plus. That happened just a week ago, so that they could set up for being able to watch The Simpsons. I don't mind watching the clips.
Yeah,
like
you can do Hulu on Disney Plus now.
They're
all
I don't know
on.
why they have three different apps. They should just have one now.
so that they can charge you more.
Anyway, watching Bart Simpson and Lisa, end people's
It's kind of fun.
fantasy
Right.
season was pretty funny.
Like, I'll watch the clips, but I'm not going to watch a full broadcast of it. Actually, I also heard that the only reason this game was not flexed was because the animators had already put so much time and work into the Bengals Cowboys this game for The Simpsons that they just couldn't flex it to somebody else.
That's hilarious.
Can you flex Monday
Yeah,
nights?
you can flex. I think you can flex everything.
I don't
now.
know. Everything
I
except for
doubt
Thursday.
they would take the
I thought
Cowboys off
Thursday was
You
Monday
Thursday
cannot-
they got
even with
flexed.
Cooper
You
Rush.
can't flex a Thursday, I don't think.
It was the first Thursday ever, I believe. They got flexed this year.
Was it? Because you would put a team at an extreme prep time disadvantage if you flex them to Thursday.
The Cincinnati
I'm
Bengals.
95% sure the
The
first game
Cincinnati
got
Bengals
flexed.
were scheduled to play the Cleveland Browns on Thursday, December 19th. The Broncos were scheduled to play. Are now scheduled to. Oh wait, hold on. Yep, the Broncos were scheduled to play the Chargers on Sunday,
Thursday
December
night
22nd,
football.
but was moved to
I got
Thursday,
the rules.
December 19th.
I got the rules.
So they
I got the rules.
flexed.
Thursday night football can be used. It can be flexed twice between weeks 13 and 17, and that's actually crazy.
So yeah, you're right.
Interesting.
The Broncos and Chargers were flexed into Thursday night in place of the Browns and Bengals. Okay.
But you can only flex a game that was originally scheduled for a Sunday afternoon to Thursday.
Like the 1 p.m.
I
or
don't get why that makes sense. No,
Because
Thursday.
like the 1 p.m. Sunday, you
Yeah,
can only take
the one in the 4.
because I think there's some issues where they won't flex the 4 p.m. games depending on what else there is that week because they still want to make sure there's good games in the 4 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
Like
they
would rather
have to flex.
Those-
Thursday night has to be flexed a full month in advance.
That makes sense. I mean, it sucks, but
I hate Thursday night football, so whatever.
I also know Drew hates this Monday Night Football game. Simpsons or not, like the way this game played out. Hold on, let's all take a moment of silence for Overshown, who
Yeah, actually.
just a moment.
Love you,
That was
Overshown.
nice. That was nice.
That's tragic.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is actually super tragic. One of the only players that was fun to watch and good this year. One of the bright spots of a terrible season. and he gets his knee torn up like that. Sad.
The whole thing too.
After
And it's not
missing
even like
missing his rookie season with a torn ACL. Now he's got a torn ACL, PCL, MCL, whatever, what other
LCL.
CLs are in there. Pretty much those are all
ACL,
gone.
BCL.
So
CCL.
I saw something today that
WCW.
there's no nerve
WWF.
damage, which is good. So, because what happened with Jalen Smith? I don't know if you guys remember him.
He was on the Steelers for a second.
He was that Notre
Old
Dame runner, linebacker.
Cowboys linebacker. The injury he suffered at Notre Dame against Ohio State, by the way, left him with nerve damage that basically deteriorated over time. And so he came into the league, had a pretty promising rookie season, and then just was never the same because his knee just literally couldn't do it. So if Overshown can avoid that nerve damage, I think he's got a chance to come back and still be a really good player.
Le'Veon Bell had a similar injury. Just to give you a little bit of hindsight, he had the whole.
But I
But
mean,
how
a couple
long
of them get
is he
torn.
out for? Like, did what was sent earlier in our chat say
Because of when it happened and how bad it is, he might be out
most of next year, right?
until 2026.
That's the thing that really sucks.
That sucks.
And people originally said 2026. He might be able to come back late
So kinda
2025.
like when he
but
hurt
I
his.
mean, it's not great. Yeah, pretty much actually.
yeah,
but worse.
a lot worse.
So huge bummer. And it wasn't even like a. I mean, he got rolled
It was
up.
a
on,
routine.
happens all the time. You can't it's not even avoidable really. It's just unlucky.
Yeah. And the way he was like sitting afterwards, for a second I thought his lower body was like paralyzed for a second. So he wasn't moving his legs, and he just kept like hitting his knee. But then they showed the replay, and it was just bad. It was just
Probably just jelly.
yeah. I mean, he probably went into a state of
Freaking
shock.
ligament in your knee just
His knee just imploded. So yeah, complete restructure. It's tough.
sad.
Number 13.
Sad.
Number 13. What a number.
Well, it's because we can't give him 0 because freaking Rowdy the mascot wears 0.
All right, 13's
Poverty
cool. It's fine.
franchise.
13's a fantastic number.
Yeah, the Cowboys suck. Freaking stupid team. Cooper Rush
All right,
sucks.
better for Genti, right?
People straight up tell you to your face that Cooper Rush is better than Dak. Like, there should be consequences to saying that. There should be consequences. There's not. We got Skip Bayless on national television
Shrimp
saying
Bayless.
that kind of stuff. And
Cooper
and
Rush
nothing
is
happened.
probably the only.
Well, he lost his show.
Cooper Rush
so I
is
guess
probably the
something
only quarterback the Vikings only win like 5 games with. Like any other quarterback, the Vikings probably win more
why
than
does
6.
Skip?
But Cooper Rush,
Why does
you're
Skip
only winning like
hate Dak
4 or
so
5.
much?
I-
Skip been hating
I don't
on
know,
Dak
man.
for
Everyone
like
does.
10 years. Made fun of him for being
There's a lot of
depressed about
people
his
that-
brother,
that
man. Are
hate
you
him
kidding
more
me?
than-
How many times has
Yeah.
that dude thrown away his Dak jersey?
Skip Bayless is a
He keeps
terrible.
pulling it back out though. So
Skip Bayless is a bad human being, unfortunately.
Skip Bayless sucks. Yeah, he was a Cowboys writer, which is interesting. Before he
Got
was
canned.
big time.
So he hates him.
But he claims to love him.
So Cooper Rush is a fine backup. Like he's fine as the backup. That's fine. But we got to watch multiple games of Cooper Rush, man. Like last night on the final drive, he tries to run up
Yeah.
the gut on 3rd down, and he freaking trips and falls, and now it's 4th and like 10.
He's so unathletic. It's
Like, dude, come on,
hilarious to
dude.
watch, man.
Like, what are you doing?
He looks like he spends his week on the couch.
He made one good move to get away from a sack, and I was like, "Oh, there you go!" And then literally, like the next play, he trips over.
Is that when he spiked that
Or-
ball into the dirt, rolling to the left? He like spun out and then just. Or that was a rollout, I think.
It could have been. I'm not sure. Either way,
Why would you call a rollout with that
he's
quarterback?
he's a backup. That's all he's ever going to be.
That dude's in
That's
NFL
all he's
weight
ever
rooms
gonna
and
be.
facilities. Like you'd walk in and think he's a trainer. Like
I would think he's a trainer.
He looks like a trainer. He's got a trainer physique to him.
oh, so funny.
Yeah, I mean, There's not much you can ask for. They don't want to put in Trey Lance. We gave up a 4th-round
Why?
pick for him just to
Why
do
don't
nothing.
they-
So,
Steelers gave up a 6 for Justin Fields. I just want to remind you of
because Cooper
that.
Rush gives us the best opportunity to
You're 5
win
and 8.
games. That's what.
When was the last time
that's
you
what we're
won?
going
Justin
with.
Fields was only a
We
6.
need to win.
Justin Fields was only a
We're winning out.
6.
Yeah, we got that. Thanks. Yeah. I don't know, man. Tragic. Then we got some
You
scrubs
guys
on
did lose your when
freaking
your last 2.
punt return that don't know what the heck they're doing.
I
He's trying to be a hero.
I watched that shit live, and I'm like, nah. There's no
Yeah,
way.
it happened in like slow motion. The minute that dude started to go for the ball, you knew he was muffing it. I mean, like that, it was just too bad of a bounce. Like you knew something bad was about to happen when he went for it.
It is kind of a weird rule. Like, it makes sense when you think about it, I guess, but like it is strange.
I mean, once it passes the line of
I don't know.
scrimmage, it's basically a punt, whether it's blocked or not. So
Yeah, I don't know. They recovered it, and they were like 10 yards still behind what they
yeah,
needed
like
for a
it
first
shouldn't have
down.
been a first down.
It's
That's
like,
what
yeah,
I
we're
kind of
good.
think about it. Like if they would have
Yeah, but
got
they
it,
call,
Yeah.
because
they
it's
should
a
have had to
muff.
like get
I
it.
thought that for a second. I was
Because
like,
They
it's
should
a
have had to-
muff.
I was like,
It's
they're
a
like 15 yards away from
It's
the
a
first
muff,
down.
so it's a
But
change of possession.
Most muff punts though are 50 yards past where you need what you need for a first down, not 15 yards
Well, it's a
behind.
fumble,
weird.
that's
It's
why.
a weird area. It's a weird area that only happens about
Yeah.
once every 5 years at the earliest. So
Yeah, well, probably once a year the
What
Cowboys
were you about to
find
say,
a way.
Cam?
We love special teams blunders. It's awesome.
Cam, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say it's different if they touched it first, but the same rules apply after that. Like if they touched it first and you try to recover it and take it for 6, it's still your ball.
I don't think you
if
can
don't
Right.
get it.
advance it afterwards either.
you can.
Like, can you? Like, if it's a muff,
No, you 100% can. It's part of it.
Weird
uh,
rules, man.
that's
Still weird
Um,
rules in this game.
Yeah, but it was activated to the roster like,
and he was
yesterday.
deactivated, cut.
and he effectively like literally if you don't fumble the ball there, we got to get like 10 yards.
Maybe.
Kick
Yeah,
a
I mean,
field
you're
goal,
probably letting Aubrey
take
kick
the
that.
lead.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Yeah.
You were
Let
in
him try.
field
Chew
goal
the
range
clock.
if you just don't touch the football. If you just clear
Yeah.
out.
And as soon as the ball goes to the Bengals, they can basically just chew the whole clock away.
Yeah,
they end
like
up
3
scoring
plays
for
later.
I
some
mean, you
reason,
knew they were gonna. You knew they were gonna.
which is fine. Jamar Chase just wanted the points. He wanted the stats. He didn't need to score that touchdown, but he did.
I mean, you risk
Shows what kind of player he is.
you risk a blocked field goal and other craziness if you don't just punch it in there. You know,
Yeah.
7.
Plus,
Yeah, I
you're going.
suppose.
If you're
I
the
suppose.
defense, you're going up against Cooper Rush. So it's like, all right, well, if
Yeah.
we score the touchdown,
That's true.
They just had a punt blocked as well. They just had a punt blocked.
Yeah.
And, you know,
His max throwing distance is about 30 yards. Like they were good. There's no Hail Mary attempt coming.
put Trey Lance in for
There was
that.
nothing
Remember
coming
that
to save
Jalen
us.
Hurts?
Trey Lance.
Hail Mary attempt in the
So-
Super Bowl, it would have been like half of that.
Yeah, it would have been that. Yeah, it was. And on that last play, like it wouldn't have been better because it was in the middle of the field. But CeeDee Lamb is chilling, just wide open, and Rush just.
To be fair, Cook was also open.
Rush has
Yeah.
no awareness. He decides where it's going, and that's where the ball's going.
He missed
There's
Cooks
no evaluating
multiple
what's going
times
on.
on that drive, though. He was open. He was NFL open easily, and it wasn't even close.
The first pick in the red zone, he throws it to CeeDee Lamb because that's where he wanted to go
Yeah,
in
he
his mind off
predetermined.
the rip. But if you wait a half second later, Ferguson is butt naked alone in the end zone, and that's what happens when you play your backup quarterback.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
They played decently well. They played better than I thought they were going to. The Bengals' high-powered offense I thought was going to score some more points, but they did not.
I mean, the Bengals tried to lose. They tried,
They did.
and just snatched defeat from the claws of victory.
Rico Dowdle's good.
He is.
I'm getting more and more afraid that Mike McCarthy's still going to be around.
You don't need
What
you
about
don't
Zimmer?
need Genti because Rico Dowdle is very good.
No, we still need Genti. No, we still need Genti.
Dowdle's good.
I don't.
He can be.
I just don't know, man. It's the whole fungible thing.
Genti's great.
I mean, you could get Caleb
He is a,
Johnson.
he could be
he's a
fungible
long
after 4
term,
years,
He's a
but
long
he will
run
be-
merchant. I mean, if you take away all of his 80-yard tutties, he's not that good.
He's
He
still
only
averaging.
averages
Good.
five.
Instead of Hail Marys with
He
Cooper
only
Rush, we
averages
can
5.5
do Hail
instead of
Gentis.
9, whatever it is.
Was he not second with the yards after contact?
Yeah, he
Genti?
is. He's first, and then he's second. He's second yards after contact, and he's first, obviously. Yeah.
Like Genti is like
Yep.
sure the position's fungible, but for a couple of years, that talented, I mean, if you want somebody
Not
that's
very
going to rip
fungible in
off,
Philly right now.
I mean, the best exactly.
like the position as a whole is
Philly,
fungible, but the best of the
Ravens,
best.
Swift was pretty good in Philly
The
last
Cowboys
year.
when Zeke was in the prime.
Phillies was
Minnesota did get revived with Aaron Jones. I will say that.
Cowboys with prime. Why can't I remember his
Who?
name?
The Cowboys prime
What?
Zeke,
any
DeMarco
run,
Murray.
any good running back is thriving on that.
Before
on that
Zeke,
Vikings
before
offense.
Zeke.
Murray.
DeMarco Murray.
Like the best of the
DeMarco
best
Murray.
are not replaceable,
I don't-
but the
I don't
position
think
as a
that's
I
whole.
do with the
Best Cowboys
passing.
teams have had a dominant running back. I don't know
Having
if
two
that's
separate conversations.
correlated,
so it's
but
fine.
well, you guys need to stop bickering over there and let me and Gil talk.
Calm down, Chip.
Talking about the Cowboys here.
As I say.
Anyways,
Think we have
if
fun
you
here.
missed what I was saying, the Cowboys are better with a good running back.
Was DeMarco Murray that good
all
though?
of their
or-
teams throughout history. He was great. Led the league in rushing. 2014.
But, like,
I think
nothing else was like that
he was
in
just a
his
good.
entire career.
DeMarco Murray was a good offensive line merchant
He was, yeah, probably.
because he left and didn't go.
He
He
was good though. He was good that
you
year.
guys had like Darren
And
McFadden for a year.
Was
And-
never
and the year
good
before.
any other time in his career.
He was good before that. Not great.
The Eagles signed him. He wasn't good there, and
Titans.
Well, he went to the Eagles, so it'll happen.
Mr. Barkley.
all right.
Did that do it?
I think that does do it. Is there anything else that we need to talk
I
about?
think that's it.
I think we kind of touched
I
on
don't
the
think so.
playoffs.
Pretty much, yeah. And there will be lots that will unfold itself over the next couple of weeks. I mean, the playoffs are just about locked in as to who the teams are going to be, especially on the AFC side.
Yeah.
The NFC side, there's a little bit more. The AFC side, there's only 3 other teams still in the hunt. Everyone else has been eliminated.
And
The
Like-
NFC, there's only been 1 team eliminated, so technically. But
Yeah, but really only one team is probably fighting for a spot.
I
We're in
would
the hunt,
say
baby.
I
Let's
would say
go.
there's 2 teams fighting for a spot: the Rams and the Falcons.
Well, or not, or I should say there's one spot fighting amongst a bunch of teams because it's going to be Packers
Yes.
and the Vikings
And
and the
the
wild card.
Commanders. The only spot realistically is it's the NFC South and the NFC West.
yeah, because those divisions aren't clinched. So until they're clinched,
So we gave up on NFCs.
yes.
Yeah,
Seeing as the Eagles have clinched.
NFC is a little more interesting.
The Eagles have clinched.
Everybody in the
The
AFC.
last-
is a lot of
The last wild card spot is between the Commanders, the
Rams,
the Falcons.
Falcons, if they figure it out.
Technically, the
See, I don't think
Cardinals.
the Falcons.
and technically the
I don't think make
wouldn't,
it
wouldn't the
without winning
Buccaneers
their
and the
division.
Seahawks be in that? Wouldn't the Seahawks and the Buccaneers be in that conversation if they lose their division?
They can, unless they win their division.
Right. So that's what I'm getting at.
But we're saying those are the projected division winners in this made-up scenario. The ones fighting for the wild card are Rams, Commanders, Falcons.
Yeah, and you can swap the Rams
Whoever
with
else
the
I just
Seahawks,
said.
and you can swap the Falcons with the Buccaneers. Just
Pretty much all the NFC West is fighting for a
Except
wild
for the
card spot.
49ers.
They all kind of
Imagine the
suck,
Niners
but
make
they're
a
all still
push.
in it.
Imagine
even if they make
the
a
Niners have an
push.
8% chance right now.
So wait, hold
That's
on.
not zero.
Steelers
one
made it
thing
with
is
about
they
7%
play- so-
2 years ago.
They do play the Rams.
Well, the Rams aren't in the playoffs, so
No, but that would be a division game.
I know, but that
That's
helps
a game and a
with
half.
that's a division A, and it helps get a team that is competing for it currently. You get some leverage on them.
I mean,
So the
Played
49ers.
the Cardinals last week of the season.
So that's
You have the
Cardinals too.
Dolphins, who the Dolphins, I learned this week, even though the Jets lost, the Dolphins are not that good. They'll finish with like 7 wins. Their toughest game is probably the Lions, December 30th. Prime time.
probably.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
That
I'd
pretty
say-
good assessment.
that might be their downfall right then and there.
Jeez, man.
They can't
think
lose
the-
another one.
I think the Rams have a pretty easy go of it. I think their hardest one might be visiting Seattle.
And that would be
I don't know.
that would be a big.
They're
They got to
in
come to
LA,
New York.
actually.
They got to play the Jets, man.
All right. The Rams have
Rams will be
49ers,
like-
Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Rams are going to be like 10.5-point favorites.
Rams basically control their own destiny.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
they
out.
do.
they play the entire NFC West.
And also, the Seahawks control their own destiny.
Yeah, I would say the Seahawks.
They
Can,
also do. Seahawks
Yes.
have a. I think the Seahawks
so the
have a
Seahawks have
difficult.
the Packers.
Seahawks go
schedule.
Packers, Vikings, Bears, Rams. Which is
Oh, they,
pretty
play, they have the NFC North gauntlet on their way up. That's
Yeah, lots that will unfold here.
Hold on, is that game in Seattle
yes,
against
Yes.
the Vikings?
yes.
Dude, that's like the 5th straight time that we're playing Seahawks in Seattle. I don't know
It's a
what is
4:05
going
game.
on. I hate going
Maybe don't go there.
Scared of Seattle.
there. It's
I'd like
no,
to go to
I'm
Seattle.
tired. I'm tired of it. They always bring out the neon greens and freaking wreck
Don't
us.
get wrecked.
They wear neon green against you guys. That's a gross
The literal
uniform
last
combo.
time they played each other was in Minnesota in 2021.
No way.
I swear. I'm not making that up.
That season is a blur to me then,
But
I guess.
The 5 times before that,
All right, we'll say 80% of the time we are in
There's a
Seattle.
lot of at Seattle, though.
60% of the time they're in Seattle. 100% of the time.
Since 2015. Don't include the 2015 season.
And what
I'm sorry.
was your percentage? 80%?
I'm gonna lower it to
Yeah,
70.
because it's 75% of the time. So yeah, it's only been 4 games.
There we go. All right, so if we round it up,
Round.
which is still a high number, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
but if
still
you
a high
include
number.
2015,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
only.
No, that's a playoff game. It doesn't count.
What
They're
do you
full.
mean? What do you mean it doesn't count?
It's not scheduled.
No,
We're
it was
talking-
not a
or,
playoff
sorry,
game.
let me
It was
put
December 6th.
in
Yes.
2015. That's the Blair Walsh kick.
It's not. You lost 38
Not
to
in
7
December.
You guys probably played each other
in
twice that
Minnesota.
year?
In Minnesota. This is
No
this is
way.
regular season games.
All right, it might have been 2014, I guess, because it was first round of the playoffs.
I don't know what to tell you.
Stats be stats.
All right.
Fun playoff matchups coming up here to end the season.
Absolutely.
Yes. Steelers running the
On one
freaking
side.
gauntlet, man.
You guys have over 99% chance of winning
time.
or making the playoffs. That's
Yeah,
I hate
that's
that.
not what I'm worried about.
I hate.
I would
that.
hope
That's not what
so.
I'm worried about.
10-3,
so
right? Is that your
I
record?
hate. I just hate it.
Yeah, well, you better, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
The Steelers
Trying to win
clinch.
the first playoff game
The
since
Steelers
2016.
clinch if the Colts lose one game. They'll clinch the playoffs.
Dylan, you've graduated high school, college, and gotten married since the last time Steelers won a playoff game.
I can't.
Were we not in the dorm room when the Steelers lost 48-27 in the playoffs?
I don't know.
Because that's the year Georgia also lost on the.
Let me.
Is that 20?
No.
I think.
No. Steelers' last playoff win was in 2016.
So the 48 that
We've
Browns
lost to the Jaguars, the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Bills.
The Browns was in 2020 because that was during COVID.
Okay, so it was the Jaguars. The Jaguars game.
Yes. Probably.
Damn.
All right, on that
You-
bombshell.
You won a playoff game since 2011. That's crazy. What's that like?
Not even winning
Making
it,
it
just
there.
getting
You've
there,
been in the
just
playoffs?
being involved.
I think the
Yeah.
next closest is the Broncos in the NFL. The last time they made the playoffs was when they won the Super Bowl, and they're about to make the playoffs this year with a rookie quarterback. The Jets have a Hall of Fame quarterback and only have 3 wins. 13 games.
Oh, man.
And on that note,
All right.
thank you everybody for joining us here this week at Party Chat Sports as we discuss Week 14 of the NFL season. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about everything. It looks like I went through the pick'ems. Sounds like Dylan did as well for Week 15. There's a couple good games on the slate for this week. I'm excited to see how those unfold and then discuss those right here next week. Wherever you watch us, wherever you listen, at Party Chat Sports on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on TikTok. Make sure you go watch the highlight video from our College Football 25 games that Dylan's put up on YouTube and also on TikTok. Go follow us on Twitter and everything. Make sure you tell your friends as well. Tell anyone that you know that loves sports as much as we do, as much as you do, to check us out at Party Chat Sports. Until next time, unless your team's playing ours, have a good one.
Go Steelers.